Berlin has cast doubt over Brexit trade talks and urged other European Union governments to accelerate their preparations for no deal, according to an internal document. The German government memo, dated June 15, reveals that Angela Merkel doesn't believe an agreement will be found next month, like suggested by Boris Johnson. From September, the negotiations enter a hot phase, the document, obtained by Reuters, said. Britain is already escalating threats in Brussels, wants to settle as much as possible in the shortest possible time and hopes to achieve last-minute success in the negotiations. The German Foreign Office confirmed that no-deal planning should be increased because of Britain's refusal to extend the post-Brexit transition period beyond the end of the year. The document added, it is therefore important to preserve the unity of the 27, to continue to insist of parallel progress in all areas and to make it clear there will be no agreement at any price. Therefore, both national and European contingency planning would now have to start in order to be prepared for No Deal 2.0. Despite its grave warning, Germany does not believe the threat of no deal would be as perilous as it was during the bitter wrangling over the UK's EU withdrawal agreement. The memo reads, the situation is less serious than in 2019, as important regulations, for example for citizens, were sorted in the withdrawal agreement. German Chancellor Mrs. Merkel will take control of the EU's rotating presidency next month, and has made securing a Brexit deal one of her main priorities. Earlier this week the EU's three presidents agreed to intensify the trade negotiations after a high-level video conference with Mr. Johnson. After the showdown, the Prime Minister said hopes for a deal were growing, insisting the talks now needed a bit of oomph. A joint statement from the UK government and EU following the video summit said trade talks so far had been constructive. 4 rounds of negotiations have been completed with legal documents setting out both sides' proposals for a deal now exchanged, the statement said. But it added, the parties agreed nevertheless that new momentum was required. They supported the plans agreed by negotiators to intensify the talks in July and to create the most conducive conditions for concluding and ratifying a deal before the end of 2020. This should include, if possible, finding an early understanding on the principles underlying any agreement. The parties underlined their intention to work hard to deliver a relationship, which would work in the interests of the citizens of the Union and of the United Kingdom.